Peace, family. I hope y'all having a great day today. Let's thank God for giving us this great day and just waking us up this morning so we get to enjoy today. But y'all, I did want to come to you and just speak on a few things. So I'm not going to hold you up for long. Just a few topics I had on my mind. Just jumping into it, the first one I wanted to talk about is the importance of telling your story. Not like a made up story from your imagination, but just telling your story. The things you went through in the past and what you accomplished and what you overcame. And the stories of you when you were at your lowest points and then how you arose to become the great person you are today. Or the story of you going through what you're going through now and then in hopes of one day overcoming it and then being able to tell someone else. The reason why I say it's so important for you to tell your story is because everything you go through in this life, you're not going through just for you to only learn something from. Everything you go through is for you to go through and then for you to share the experience with other people. Because one of the things I learned from a long time ago, a fool makes his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So think about it. If you tell your story, you could potentially save a lot of people from having to go through the same things you went through and that hemmed you up. You can help people get on course with their lives. You can inspire people to do greater things. You can even show people that there is a way out. But guess what? The only way they're going to learn this is from you telling your story. You have to tell your story because no one can tell it for you. No one went through what you went through the way you went through it, the way you experienced it. So it's up to you to tell that story because I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a following for whatever you went through. It don't matter what it is. Somebody somewhere needs you. Honestly, like it may sound crazy, but someone somewhere needs you. You might even think, well, why would somebody need me? I'm just a whatever. You got to look at it like this. There's somebody out there right now that's in a worse condition than you, and they're trying to find that way out, but they just don't know where to turn. And you could be that answer for them. And all it takes for you to do is for you to tell your story. Tell it the way you experienced it. You ain't got to make nothing up. You ain't got to sugarcoat it or anything. Just tell your story. You think about it. There's plenty of people who went to prison for many years. There's people who did drugs for many years and became addicts. There's people who did all sorts of things and they live to tell their story so they can inspire people to either go another way, to do something else, or to find their inner selves. Speaking on that, I have a cousin. He did right at almost 19 years in prison, and he was innocent. I asked him, I said, cousin, since your release, because they had to let him go, I said, since your release, do you feel like retaliating against the individuals who did you wrong, like the court system? He said, nah, cousin, honestly, no. It's not worth it. I don't hold anything against them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my story, what I went through, so another person won't have to go through it. So I just want to tell y'all that. Tell your story. You don't know how powerful your story is and how it can inspire someone and be impactful on someone to change their life. Also, I did want to just tell you that because I want to explain Tell 'em to you and why I call this channel Tell 'em. Tell 'em is an acronym. Teach everyone life lessons every moment. Also, the name Tell 'em derived from the Tell 'em Pygmies of Africa, who at their time had the ability or believed to have the ability of flight. The Tell 'em lived in caves, and while they dwelled in those caves, they created art. Many years later, the Tell 'em disappeared. No one knows what happened, but their art remains. So I come up with the concept of Tell 'em as the way they did. They created art while they were alive, and then after they left, their art lived on after they were gone. And that's what I want you all to do. Teach everyone life lessons every moment, because you're doing that anyway. So that's why you have to be cautious of what you put out into this universe, because every action has a reaction. You gotta tell your story. Do you. You just do you. The right people will come. It may take time, but you never know who needs you. You might not think much of what you went through or what you're going through, but to the right person, it's going to be everything they needed to hear to get them on track. Because you think about it, that's one reason why a lot of us are on YouTube anyway. We're only hearing stories of experiences that the person that's making the video went through, and they're telling us how to get through it. One person in particular I can think of off the top of my head, Dave Ramsey. He went through all that bad he had to go through just so he can help people get out of debt. He helps millions of people. And you can help people also just by telling what you went through. You have social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Just share your story and help people become a better them than they were yesterday. All right, y'all. Like I said, I wasn't going to hold you up. I just wanted to talk to you all about telling your story. I hope it helps. I hope it inspires someone to get started. That's the main thing. Just get started. There's a whole lot of talking, not enough getting started. You ain't going to be great off the rip. It takes time. But the beautiful part is, even if one person watches you, you have the power to change one person's life. And that should be enough. All right, y'all. I'm going to talk to you later. Peace.